it's Eunice and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be testing out a bunch of new Tarte products, and one of the reasons why I look like this is because I am going to be using the Tarte X Adelaine Morin palette. So excited to be using this today, and this is the whole look that I came up with. So if you want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. Okay, so I already moisturized my face and we're starting off with the face products. So I bought this set which has a couple of the new items from their face collection, which has a moisturizer, a face primer, and a finishing powder. So I've already moisturized my face, and the moisturizer that I use is the Tarte Reset Cream. It kind of has a whipped formula, so I do like to apply it a couple of minutes before I'm about to start with my face makeup because it takes a little bit longer to set in because it's kind of thick. But the best thing about it is, even though it's thick, it has that kind of watery gel formula that when you apply it on your skin, it transforms into like a translucent, actually a transparent gel. And for someone who likes to apply makeup on top of her moisturizer, that's essentially what I like because it doesn't clog my pores when I apply like my foundation. But like I said, there's nothing too special in it in my opinion, but the formula is also good. If you don't have a moisturizer with like a gel type formula that you want to use underneath your makeup, do try it out. But if you already have something, you know, it's not super special, like it's not out of this world. So let's start with a primer. So the primer that I'm using today, it also came in with a set. It's the Tarte Double Duty Base Tape Primer. So this is actually a primer that's made specifically for your Tarte Shape Tape. It's for those dry skin girls out there like me who has a hard time using the Shape Tape, because if we do apply way too much, because of the matte formula of the Shape Tape, it tends to kind of look too dry on our under eyes. So that's why they created this primer, and as you can see, it's really watery. I've tried this a couple of times, but I haven't really figured out if it really does help hydrate my under eye area when applying my base tape, my Shape Tape. It has a kind of a coconutty scent, yeah, something like that. It's not too irritating, but yeah, it's really thin. It reminds me of the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. Now for the foundation, I'm using something new. This is the Tarte Foundcealer foundation. It has SPF 20 and it's a multitasking foundation. The shade that I'm using for today is Medium Tan Honey, and this is actually a sample that I got from Sephora, so I didn't pay for it. It was perfect because, like the Hourglass one, I get to try a new foundation without having to pay for a full bottle. And if I don't use it regularly, I'm not gonna have like a full-size bottle sitting on my vanity. So this is perfect. It's actually a decent sample size, as you can see, and it also comes with a pump. I will look up how many shades it has. I zoomed you guys in a little bit closer to see how it will apply on my face. In fairness, I feel like the primer made my face look a little smoother, made it look a little bit more plump. I don't know if that's like a... Let's do two pumps. Let's see what the shade... Hopefully the shade... Okay, it looks like the shade is fine for my skin. I'm gonna start blending the foundation on this side of my face. Got my mirror here, and here is the side with one layer of foundation, and here is the side without. It did cover up a little bit of my veins. I'm looking at my mirror right here, and as you can see, I'm kind of veiny in my forehead area, but then on this side it kind of covered that up a little bit. It's like a light coverage, and I want to see if I can build it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply foundation on this side of my face and layer this up with a second coat. So This side of my face has 2 layers, and I also added another layer on my problem areas, aka my blemishes. So I have like a little bit of scarring right here, and it did blur it out a little bit, but I want to see how it would look after. I'm gonna save my thoughts for later, but right now I do feel a little bit of tackiness on the foundation. It's not the most lightweight, but I really love the finish of it because it's not too matte despite the coverage that it is giving my face. As you can see, it is buildable. There's no, whatchamacallit, it's not caking or anything like that. So I'm really excited to see how it will look like at the end of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my foundation. I'm gonna apply the second layer on this side of my face. There we go. I really love the finish. It's really dewy. It reminds me of the Too Faced Dew You foundation. It has a good coverage, but it's not matte, and it's really just healthy looking on my skin. And as like I said, it's not the most lightweight, but I really love the finish of it. Okay, so now let's go for the concealer. And like I said, I used the Base Tape Primer that was created specifically for the Shape Tape Primer. So that's what we're going to use today, and I have the shade Light Medium. I have a different shade of this as a backup because I just love the Shape Tape. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of choices out there, but I just feel like there's a different, the Shape Tape just has a different formula wherein it just covers everything, like all the eye bags and whatnot, all your stress from work, from home, from all your problems. It just goes away even just for a couple of hours. Well, a lot of hours because it's super long lasting. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and conceal my under eye circles as well as any blemishes and redness around my nose area. This is really heavy. I just put a little bit on my under eyes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and blend that in. I'm also going to use the Shape Tape Primer to prime my lids na rin. Okay, this is interesting. I'm seeing some creasing on my under eyes, and hopefully that goes away once we set it, because whenever I use the Shape Tape, it doesn't really crease like this. I don't know if it's the primer or if it's the foundation. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with this Tarte Shape Tape setting powder. It also came with a set. It is actually also made for the Shape Tape concealer. Well, that's what they were trying to do. They would try to like create other products to accompany or like to complement the concealer to make it a little bit more forgiving for those who have dry skin. So this powder is supposed to be a little bit more hydrating. So I'm not gonna bake my face for too long because, like I said, I have really dry skin. So I'm just going to put a little bit to set my under eye area. Okay, now I'm just going to contour and bronze my face before I set my entire face with some powder. have our base makeup done, we are now ready to apply some eyeshadow. Okay, so this palette is in collaboration with Adelaine Morin, and if you guys don't know who Adelaine Morin is, she is a Canadian YouTuber, and she is actually, I think, part Filipino, and her mom's Filipino, that's for sure. I'm not sure about her dad, but I saw her mom in one of her vlogs, and I'm actually wearing her merch right now. It's a Girls Supporting Girls hoodie, and that's why I decided to buy her palette, because whenever a half Filipino YouTuber does a collaboration with a brand, I kind of buy them. I bought the Morphe X Bretman Babe in Paradise highlighter, e.l.f. X Heart Defensor Coffee and Cream highlighter, and then I also bought the Melissa Michelle and Ulta cheek palette, and now I bought the Tarte and Adelaine Morin eye and cheek palette. So as soon as she launched this on Tarte, I immediately ordered it, and then Ulta, so it's also available at Ulta if you guys don't know, and Ulta just sent me a 20% off coupon. I was like, oh, I could have gotten it for 20% off, but hey, what's a 20% off coupon? I'm just supporting Adelaine, you know, girls supporting girls. Anyway, it has 9 eyeshadow shades and a blush as well as a highlighter. I am just going to experiment with the eyeshadows in this palette, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm just going to do a voiceover for this part of the video because I'm not yet sure what look I want to go for. So yeah.
Okay, so using a blending brush, I'm taking the shade Girls Supporting Girls and I'm applying that on my crease area for my transition shade. Now I'm taking an angled blending brush, and this is from the brand Luxie, and I'm using the shade Mama Morin to deepen out my crease. So just to blend out the two transition shades together, I'm going back with my blending brush and just buffing that in. Now I'm taking the same angled blending brush and I'm taking the shade Boss Lady and I'm applying that on my outer corners to deepen out the look. And of course, going back to my blending brush to make sure that I get that gradient ombre effect, kind of like a sunset look. Now I'm just using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to cut my crease. And going back to the shade Boss Lady to kind of blend in that cut crease area. And I'm taking my ring finger and using the shade Law of Attraction and I'm applying that on the inner half of my lids. And I'm taking my flat eyeshadow brush and I'm just applying the shade Mama Morin and Boss Lady on my tear ducts. Now I'm taking a pencil brush and applying the shade Promise Ring on my inner corners to brighten up my eyes. And using this Tarteist eyeliner, I am just creating a winged line look. Now I'm taking the blush shade and just applying that on the apples of my cheeks. And taking again the shade Promise Ring, which is the highlighter shade, and applying that on my cheekbones, my nose, and my cupid's bow.
Alright, so here is the finished makeup look. I just put on some falsies, finished off my lips, and of course fixed up my hair to channel in my inner Adelaine Morin, but I couldn't find sunflowers in this house, so I just got like this lei. Anyway, it kind of goes with the whole theme. I don't know. I know it looked kind of funny, but I kind of wanted to like try and recreate what she looks like on one of her promo photos. But now let's talk about the products that I did use for today. So with the moisturizer, the primer, and the setting powder from that base tape set, I really love the moisturizer because like I said, I love those kind of really hydrating moisturizers, but then their finish is kind of more on the gel watery side, because then it doesn't clog up my pores or add another like layer on my skin, but it still helps moisturize it. So I really like it. It's just that I have other moisturizers that also act the same way, so I don't see myself purchasing it in the near future because I still want to finish up what I have, because there's nothing super like wow or super exceptional about it. But if you are looking for a new moisturizer to try which is also hydrating but thin enough to use underneath your makeup, I recommend it if you want to try that. But like I said, if you already have something like that, it's okay to miss out on it. The next item is the base tape primer. To be honest, yes, it's really thin. I felt like it was hydrating because I really saw some dewiness after I applied it. But other than that, it's like your other run-of-the-mill hydrating primers. There's nothing really special about it. I don't think it helped my Shape Tape to appear more hydrated or whatnot. The Shape Tape looks the same on my skin with the base tape primer or without the base tape primer. It looks the same. So it's a good primer because it's hydrating, but like I said, there's nothing too special about it. There's a lot of other primers like that in the market, so maybe it's just branded base tape, you know, it's like a marketing kind of branding so that it latches onto the Shape Tape. When you buy your Shape Tape, you kind of buy the base tape too, thinking that it's necessary. But for me, it's not. It's not a bad product. It's just that I don't feel like you need to have that primer if you already have other primers to use underneath your foundation. Next item is the setting powder. Definitely feel like there's a white cast on my face. I do appear really lighter as opposed to like my natural skin tone, so I don't think I'll be using that powder for the rest of my face. Yes, for the under eyes they could be good because it can help brighten up the under eye, but for the rest of my face, definitely not using that because it appears that my skin is lighter than my regular skin tone. On camera it looks okay, but when I was looking at the mirror a while ago and on my phone when I was taking photos, there is definitely a white cast. So do take note of that if you ever want to try out the setting powder. Next is the Tarte Foundcealer. So on the initial application, I really love it. I love the coverage. It's not the most lightweight, but I love the full coverage and dewiness of it. Like I said, it reminded me of the Too Faced Dew You foundation, but as I am wearing it and as I am looking in the mirror, I definitely feel like there's a little bit of cakiness to it. But I'm not going to give you my final thoughts about that because with foundation, I definitely feel like I need to try it for more than maybe a week to give you my final thoughts. So I am going to pin a comment down below and update you guys in the future of how the foundation is wearing for me. But like I said at the onset, I really love the coverage, really love the dewiness, and it's perfect for summer because during the summertime I just really love having a dewy kind of look when it comes to like my face makeup and whatnot. So now for the main part of this video and why I filmed this and why I look like this is the Tarte and Adelaine Morin palette. Initially, I was like, a yellow shade? I'm not gonna use that. But to be honest, I really loved it for transition. I definitely feel like it's wearable. You can definitely get a couple of other looks using this palette, and I do think that I am going to do a 3 looks in 1 in the future because I haven't used deeper shades right here. And also, another thing is the blush. Initially, I was like, the holes The whole eyeshadow part looks like orangey and warm. I was thinking that the blush wouldn't be as pink, but then when I applied it, it goes well with the whole look. I also really love the highlighter because even though I'm tan, and I think because I am tan and Adelaine Morin is tan, the highlighter really went well and it really matches my skin tone. So I love that, and I also used it in my inner corners. Some people were commenting how Adelaine's like whole personality or her branding is yellow. Why didn't she release a yellow palette and she only has one yellow eyeshadow? I just think that they made this palette to actually be wearable and for people to use, not just to purchase it and, you know, do costume makeup with it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think because her target market is really younger females who are more on the your everyday lifestyle female, so I really think that the way that she actually chose the colors for this palette is amazing because, like I said, I can definitely use it for everyday looks. And I also love the fact that she has a huge mirror right here, and I was actually using the mirror the whole time I was applying my eyeshadow. I can see my entire face and it's perfect. Like, I love palettes that has a mirror. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, do give this video a thumbs up, and of course, if you have any questions on where to buy the products, what can you use instead of the products that I use in these videos, I definitely have substitutes. Just leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer them. So thank you again so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!